How did it come about, getting Avoda clubs in Jason's bag?
So his coach reached out to us, Colin. Colin's awesome. Big part of what we do is making sure the coach is involved in the process. Have to be.
Yeah.
I think Jason was kind of fed up trying to figure it out on his own to a point. He'd gone down a lot of different tests. He was trying a lot of different equipment. So we met up with him, went through the precision fit system. It's for everyone.
Yeah.
We took one of the best players out there through it. Same process. What club's right for you? Doesn't matter how good you are or how new you are, you still need the club that's right for you. So we took him through that process. We found out pretty quickly he had some specs issues, especially in lie angle. So we went through lie angle, shaft testing. The intention was not to put him in graphite. And he's like, yeah, this is just easier. Like, it's going straighter. I'm hitting it better. I'm hitting the middle more than I have before.
Yep.
It was easier. Like, why wouldn't I do this? Doesn't make sense why I wouldn't do it.
So welcome to another episode of the Halfway Hut podcast. And we have our first returning guest, Tom Bailey from Avoda. Welcome back, Tom.
Appreciate you having me on again.
It's been a while since we last spoke. So you've clearly had a crazy year since then. So tell us about the last 6-7 months since we last spoke.
Yeah. We spoke kind of back end of the first half of last year, I think. And we're at very different places of business now than we were then. A few new players on board as well. And just learned a lot as a business. Lots to unpack. Lots to go through. Where do you want to start?
Yeah. So I know you're expanding towards UK and Europe a bit more. Maybe tell us a bit about that.
Yeah, for sure. So Europe, we're supposed to be going into Europe like right now. I believe in the next few weeks or the next month. I've been saying that now for the last few months. It just turns out there's a lot of things you have to do now to get to Europe. So we're almost there with it. I'm excited for that. We've got a lot of people waiting for that to happen. So that's going to be fun. That's going to be a big part of this year as well, is expanding that and finding the right partners throughout Europe, the right accounts to work with, coaches. So that's something we started. And you've had Toby on, you know Toby well. So Toby's leading up the way over there in the UK and Europe. He's doing an awesome job.
Yeah.
And on the UK side, we're almost ready to open our UK facility. So Goddard's Green, not far from you, Burgess Hill, just up the road.
We've nipped down there occasionally, and I'm loving what I see. I'm fast approaching, going to be there most weeks, most days, probably.
For sure, yeah. So I mean, we've got a long way to go with where we want to get it to. Right now, it's a fulfillment center. It's our build shop. It's our HQ for the UK. We're just finishing off our fitting studio there in the lobby and everything. So that will be ready to go for fittings in the next couple of weeks. And then the plan is to expand the whole top floor out into kind of an indoor academy space, just as a place people go practice in the evenings or weekends or when the weather's not so good in the UK. So we really want it to be that, we're not the brand that's just trying to sell a set of golf clubs. We actually want to help the player get better. The slogan for the company is only if you want to get better. And there's more to getting better than just getting a set of golf clubs. So as you know, we've spoken through it a lot. The golf clubs are the foundation to getting better. If your golf clubs are hurting you, it's going to be really, really difficult to get good. We take care of that part. But now people go, now what? You've helped me through this first bit. I'm definitely better at golf. What do I do now?
Exactly.
So we want to be able to offer that side of it as well. Obviously, I'm from a coaching background. A lot of the guys involved are from a coaching background. Mike's, one of the top coaches out there, and has coached at the highest level in majors and all sorts. So it's great to have him part of the team. But we know the journey for a golfer is more than just having one lesson without the golf clubs at work. And it's more than just having the golf clubs and not having the lessons. So it's bringing that two sides of the industry together. Yeah. So the UK facility is going to be kind of like a pilot facility for what we want to do.
Yeah, I love that. And especially, am I right in saying there'll be a fitness area as well?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, just a small, like, kind of specific training area there. It's not going to be anything crazy like a health club gym with every single machine, but you're going to have everything you need to be able to be a well-rounded athlete as a golfer. So it's going to be a pretty cool facility. But that's something we'll see when we get to that point. The plan for this year is to get it to where we can at least we've got our by the end of this month, we'll have our welcome area and our own fitting studio set up there. And then we have the upstairs area already, half of it, which we'll just do a basic kind of a practice sim, coaching sim, and a little training area just to get going and look for some coaches who want to work out of there as well. So that's a good opportunity for any coaches, down in the Southeast who are looking for a place to come and do some extra hours or have a place to base themselves from.
Yeah.
So we'll have that here set up in the next few months, hopefully.
That sounds awesome. Especially, I mean, this time of year, the weather in the UK, I can speak 'cause I'm sitting next to the window and I'm looking at the terrible weather that we've got at the moment. So
Yeah,
having
I've got
something,
snow. There's snow outside here.
you've got me beat there. Fair enough.
I literally said I moved from the UK to California. I spent 3 years in California, never having to check the weather forecast. T-shirt, yeah, we're good. And then now I'm in Pittsburgh. I love it here, but man, for 4 months of the year,
It's tough.
no good. Yeah,
But having somewhere that you can practice inside as well and
yeah, for sure.
really, but also get lessons as well, because I know there's not many simulators or anything that's good to be able to practice inside and really
Mhm.
concentrate on someone's game. I mean, there's on-course lessons, which I think personally I view is so important to have, but you can't always do that in the UK because again,
Sure. Yeah, I mean,
it's terrible.
it's what's interesting there, like about the whole being able to get inside and have lessons, but how lessons are structured as well.
Mm,
So Mike's got a really good model at his academy, which is a coaching model, not just a teaching model.
yeah,
So when you're not turning up, or I'm going to book a lesson, I'm going to have an hour with a coach, and then I'm going to leave, and maybe in 2 weeks' time I'll come back for another lesson. But you've been to the golf course, 5 to 10 times in that 2 week period, and you've been practicing on your own, but you've been doing the drill slightly wrong, and then you go back 2 weeks later, you pay the money, and you've been told, you haven't done it yet. You just got to keep doing it.
yeah,
It's like, man, isn't there something we could have done in that period to not have wasted all that time and that money? So Mike's model is supervised practice. So when people turn up to his academy, they pay an academy fee, just a monthly membership to be at the academy. They want one-to-one lessons, they can, but they'll have a coach there for supervised practice all the time. So you could be practicing away and you might just need 5 minutes. Hey, I've got a question. Am I doing this right here? Like, is this what we were looking for? And it's just thumbs up, you're doing great. And if you're not, it's pointing that out real quickly, and then the coach can move on. And most of the time in lessons, within 5 to 10 minutes, you kind of know what you're doing with the player.
yeah,
If you're 40, 50 minutes into the lesson, still trying to figure out what you're going to do with the player, that's probably a different conversation to have. But most coaches are going to know in the first 5 to 10 minutes, here's the drill I want them doing. And then you end up spending the next 45 minutes just doing the drills with the player. They didn't need to pay you for that 45 minutes. You didn't need to spend that 45 minutes. You could have been helping another 5 players in that time.
exactly. Yeah.
So, long story short, that's the model we're trying to work towards, is where it's a supervised practice model and you can turn up and you're going to have someone there to just check in on your practice while you're there.
Yeah, I mean, that kind of makes me think of like when you go to a pro event, you don't just see one player, or very rarely do you see one player just practicing and there's no one around them. They have a whole team around them. They have their
Yep.
coach, their fitness to help them all with different aspects of their game. So it's
Yep.
what they're doing it. So why aren't we doing it? Obviously, we
100%.
can't have a whole team go with us to the driving range every time, but being
Yep.
able to be in no, to be able to be efficient with your practice and having someone there to help you be efficient with it,
Yep.
so important. It can clearly
Supervised practice. That's what it is. It's supervised
exactly,
practice. And what's really interesting, if you look at a lot of the guys who are out on tour and they have their coaches there with them that they've had the whole entire time, they very rarely did they ever pay that coach for one-on-one lessons.
exactly.
Very rarely. Most of the time, they were at the academy that the coach had, and the coach was there helping everyone in a group environment. It's like
Yeah,
that for Bryson. Bryson developed in Mike's academy, the tent, and was just turning up, practicing. Mike would have an input. Mike would go help another player, then another player, then check back in. I'm pretty certain that was the same for Jason with Colin as well. It's part of an academy that Colin had.
yeah,
And that seems to be where a lot of these players are coming from.
yeah,
And they have that supervision in their practice and they're getting to tour. And the ones the ones that were lucky enough to have a junior coach that spent every day with them without other players around as well, just working with them, that's pretty good. So
love
yeah,
that.
that's the model we're aiming for that kind of supervised practice model.
Well, it's only good to go on to what are your goals for the next year at the moment. We
Yeah.
talk about what you've just been doing.
Personally or for Avoda? Because they're
Let's
kind of
go with
tied in a
Avoda
bit.
first, 'cause I've got a
Yeah.
feeling that I keep seeing your practice on Instagram. So let's start with
Yeah,
Avoda.
yeah. Right. So this year the goals for Avoda is just to continue letting people know we exist. Like it's amazing how many people don't know we exist yet. It's not surprising because we've only just popped up. But I'll go to a golf course, even at my home club, and I'll be speaking with someone. I'll have my clothing on and whatever, and they'll be like, "Oh, what do you do?" I say, "Oh, I own a Avoda Golf." I go, "What's that?" And then I tell them, they go, "Oh yeah, no, I've heard about that," but it's not on a known brand yet. You know,
Yeah,
we're far from that. So knowing that, the goal for the year is to continue letting people know we exist, and the way we plan to do that is by helping golfers get better.
exactly. Yeah,
You know, and we've done that. Obviously, if you look at what we did with Bryson, getting him in some clubs that helped him, not hurt him. Then he goes off and wins a US Open.
yeah,
We're hoping we have the same effect with Jason. Things are moving in a good direction. He's playing some good golf. He's a great part of the team to have shouting about it when we get to that point. But yeah, the goal for this year is continue making great product. That's the base of everything. The golf clubs, we're making stuff that no one else is making. If someone else is making it, we don't bother. So
yeah,
it's continuing that core focus of making stuff that no one else is making. If it didn't need to exist, we won't bother with it. And if it does need to exist and it doesn't, we will bring it to market.
yeah.
So great product and let people know we exist. Those are the two main things.
Love that. Love that. And let's go on to your game quickly.
Yeah. Well, one of the ways we're trying to work on letting people know we exist is by me actually getting back playing golf again and seeing if I can make a run at it. So obviously, everything I've learned, everything I've done when I was coaching, even now in the equipment space, has all been around helping me get better at golf.
Yeah,
Sounds selfish, but the core of it all was like, what can I do in my game to get better? There are places that some people are going, but most of the time we're getting pushed away from it.
yeah,
And what I've learned in those spaces, then other people have gone, can you do that for me as well? And I've gone, sure. And then I've ended up, with a coaching business and then with an equipment business. So the focus for me for the year is to get actually back on that path.
yeah,
Last year, the goal was to build a business that doesn't need me. And what I'm learning is that that's actually not that easy to do.
yeah,
And we're close. Like we're in a good place. I've got a great team. Um, my say business partners, my brother and our best friend Tommy, he's a big part of all of this. And they're pretty much running the day to day of the business. I don't have to be heavily involved. So I'm only showing up when I've either got a big thing they need me to help deal with, or if we're trying to, if I just want to come in and say, hey, what's up? So it's given me the time to actually get back practicing. My goal for this year is to qualify for a major tour. That's my goal for this
love
year.
that. Love that.
So it's phase one is actually get back swinging a golf club again, which I've been doing, the last couple of months. Then get back on a golf course. That's the plan for the next couple of months.
Hmm.
See where the game's at. Play some mini tour stuff. Play some tournaments. Try and ramp it up into a full tournament schedule by kind of Q3 of the year, and then play in if I can play in every single Q school I can get through. So and see which tour that ends me up on, if
Yeah,
any. But the goal is to get on one of them. So if I can do that, I actually get to show the product working that I've designed, which is
love
huge.
that.
And I actually finally get to get the benefit of the stuff I've made, which I haven't been able to.
Yeah,
So it's been fun watching other people get better at golf. It's been fun watching Bryson get better, Jason get better, and every one of our customers who've gone through an online fitting, gone through a fitting with our accounts, like enjoying the clubs and playing better golf. And I'm over here like, I love it. I want to do that as well.
yeah.
And you guys,
I
you
have to
guys
say,
enjoying your golf.
my golf, I keep saying it on the podcast, but my golf has improved like so much. It's to the point that my mates are even saying, hey, like the way you're hitting your irons is the best I've ever seen. And even like my wedge shots, becoming so accurate with my wedges. It's just, I don't even have to think half the time. It's just, right, what's the number? Right, we'll go with that. And
Yeah,
it's brought my handicap down. And also one of my goals is to make it to not qualify, but to actually have a low enough handicap to do open qualifying.
mhm,
And the clubs that you've got from you guys have like made that a real possibility. I have to say,
for
I'm
sure.
not
Yeah,
going
I
to
mean,
hard courses and thinking, well, I don't know how I'm going to do this. I have such confidence in my game, and it's
yeah,
because of the clubs.
100%. Getting the clubs to match how you're built to swing is everything. Like you've now experienced it firsthand. You guys heard me talk about it, and then you went through it, and you've got it, and you get it now.
Yeah,
But it is like the closer you can get the fit and the clubs to match how you're built to swing, you don't have to now compensate against how you're built,
yeah,
which means that when you do get the swing wrong, you're just not that far away.
yeah,
When you have a huge compensation to make, a huge adjustment to make in the swing, and you get that wrong, you could be miles off, and that's where you get catastrophic shots from.
yeah,
So you'll see dispersion time. Your good shots are going to be as good as ever. You're just going to have more of them.
exactly. Yeah,
Your bad shots, you're going to go, man, how that was not very good, and I've hit the green and it's gone straight.
yeah.
Or if you get some of that curve face go and you hit the heel, you think you've hit it in the right bunker, and you go, oh, I've got a 3 foot birdie putt.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah,
You mentioned Jason Day. and we're going
Yeah.
to come on to that in a minute. But I wanted to ask you quickly about to do with your game, spending
Hmm.
more time with players like Bryce and Jason Day. What have
Yeah.
you taken away from, or have they been able to like show you anything that's been able to
Yeah.
improve the game?
Massively. The biggest eye opener is how unfortunately a lot of the players have got equipment problems that they're unaware of
Yeah,
until it's really exposed. And they go, man, that's why I went down that 5-year route of changing my whole entire golf swing. Like literally players who have been at the peak of the game, got the new model. New model wasn't built to the same specs. They then started hitting bad shots. They're looking at their golf swing going, I guess I got to change my golf swing that was working before.
yeah,
Then they go down this rabbit hole of blaming the golf swing. I went through it, and the golf swing matters, but the thing that's changing it in the first place is the golf club.
yeah,
So that's the first thing I've learned is that there's room for a lot of them to get more dialed than they are, which is scary. Like how much more dialed some of them could get. But the biggest thing I've learned above any is they just don't have any other distractions.
yeah. That's true.
Best out there, they are just blinders on. That's all they do. Then they wake up, they focus on that, and that's it. You know, and they want to beat everyone. They don't want to do it to win. They just want to be as good as they possibly can without distractions, and it's their only focus. And I think that's the biggest thing that I've learned taken away from me. I've tried to pursue playing golf, and I've always had distractions. It was either a time or a money problem. Whenever I solved one of them, I ended up with the other,
Yeah,
and it was like, man, I just don't have that sole focus. So that was the goal of last year, and the goal of still moving into this year. We're close. It's just to get that to where that's my sole focus. But that's what I've learned from them. They just and their short games are pretty damn good as well.
yeah, yeah.
Like,
That is
man.
when we go to watch we go because our local one is the BMW at Wentworth.
Yeah.
It's when I take friends with me, I'm like, you obviously want to see like your Rory and all that hit a driver and stuff like that. But I'm
Mhm.
like, concentrate on when if they miss a green, they are probably gonna get up and down.
Yeah.
Like they're gonna hit it close or they're gonna hit it
Mhm.
exactly where they want it. Because their short
100%.
game's phenomenal.
Yeah. And it's not saying it's like from a stats point of view now, we know that the short game isn't the most important part of the game to go and get great with. You can manipulate stats to say it is, but tee to green stats is where it wins. And if you're good around the green as well, you're going to be really good. But it's with how far you can hit driver now, and you are. And when I say like around the green short game, I'm talking like up to 50, 60 yards.
Oh yeah.
And they if they can put it to that distance and they can have a wedge in hand and they know it's going inside 10 feet, 5 feet, like most players are going to need that to save pars and maybe sometimes save bogeys, but they're doing it to convert, give
Yeah.
themselves opportunities. But they're just like you put a sand wedge or a lob wedge in their hand, put them anywhere, they're going to be good with it.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
So I want to kind of dive into, I know we spoke about it last time, and I am going to come back to Jason Day. Don't worry, if everyone's listening, I will come back to that. But what I really want to talk about first is the curved face irons. Now, you told us about them last time, but maybe let's go a bit deeper into why are they so good and how they can benefit your game.
Yeah. So it wasn't something that we set out to do when we started. Curve phased irons wasn't even on the radar. Um, when we started, it was about me making myself a set of golf clubs, which I
Yeah,
did. And then when we got hooked up with Bryson, it was just about making a set of golf clubs for him that was not causing him the problems that his current ones were. And that was still looking at a flat face, reducing the offset, playing around with some weighting to get his ball flight where he needed it. And then he was obviously down the rabbit hole of face curvature already and how important it is in the woods and how most drivers do not have enough for their speeds that they're swinging on tour. Not even tour. Like there's 20 handicaps who swing a driver at 120.
yeah,
Like they'd probably be better if they didn't, but they do because they're strong and they maybe move pretty well. And they need the curvature on the face to correct those off center hits.
yeah,
Bryson knew that. He was going down that route in his driver. He found Crank were already doing it. He's still using the driver to today. And then it was like, should I explore this in the rest of the bag? So Mike goes, why don't we put some curvature on an iron and find out? Mike goes into the academy, takes one of the raw forgings that we used to work with when we started and starts grinding in some radius to the club. And it wasn't perfect. It was on a, you're using a flat belt on a bench grind. It's not that easy, but he
yeah,
managed to get some curvature in it. And Bryson hit it and was like, yeah, that shouldn't have done that. That shouldn't have done that. How's that still gone straight? He goes, I'd use this right now. Like, let's get a set of these. So then it was like, right, we actually need to find out if this really does work because there's a reason why no one's doing it currently. And I want to find out why they're not before we just dive all the way into it.
Yeah.
So we made two identical irons, one flat, one curved, 7 irons, identical, except for one had a curved face, one had a flat face. Every other spec was the same and had him hit them. Hit them all over the face, remove anything the face to pass weren't that great with. And then it was like looking at the data and going, yeah, it's keeping the spin axis consistent regardless of where you're hitting it on the face. So we should definitely be doing this. Now, is it going to be the thing that the everyday golfer can pick up and suddenly drop 15 strokes off their game? No. That's probably going to be getting in the right specs of the golf club in the first place, the right shaft, the right lie angle, the right head fall, and the right sole, the right grip. But once those are dialed in and you are down at that level where those little bits, the little shots make a difference, and on tour, yeah, like 2 shots in a season could be a lot of money
Yeah.
for these guys. So they wanna do anything they can. And if you're above that 90, 95 mile an hour with a 7-iron, we pretty much say it's a non-negotiable. Like, you have to go and hit it.
Yeah.
It's gonna make a difference for you. If you're below that, it still makes a difference, but you're gonna wanna dive into the data a bit more and see if it's something you wanna go with. Like, the difference is there, but it's not something you're gonna look up and go, "Wow, like, that shouldn't have done that." But when you're on the faster speeds, that club's moving.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how it got started. Who can it help? It can help everyone, but the faster you swing, the straighter they'll go. So the
Yeah.
faster you are, the more the club's going to twist. So gear effect is basically what it's working with. Gear effect is huge on woods. That's why it's talked about on woods. But then it's like, well, there's not as much on an iron, so we won't bother with it. And it's true. There's nowhere near as much gear effect on an iron as there is on a driver. But the club still twists if you don't hit the middle, which will put side spin on the ball,
Yeah.
which will send it offline. And the faster you swing, the more it's going to do that, and the more offline it's going to go. So it has needed to exist, but because it's not a product that 100% of players can pick up and go and use and go, man, look at this, this is changing everything, then it is kind of like, we won't bother with that one.
Yeah.
That's kind of where the industry's gone with it. And I think it's something you will see because these top players in the world are starting to hit it and they're going, that's making a difference. It's
Yeah.
won a US Open already. So it's awesome. Like, I will never use a flat club again. I'd use
No.
flat wedges, but I am never using a flat club in my irons again. Like, I like the look of it better.
Yeah.
I've seen the benefits of it. Um, the reason that it's kind of not really talked about through the whole bag before is because gear effect is so much higher on a driver. Like, the CG on a driver is way further back. When the club twists, it's going to have way more gearing. The golf ball is going to have more side spin. The
Right.
smaller the club gets, the closer the CG gets to the face, the less side spin it's going to put on the ball when you hit off center. So it's kind of like, because it's minimal versus loads, we won't go there.
Yeah. Makes sense because that's why you wouldn't put it on a set of wedges essentially because
Yeah, and you just I mean, the reality is you could put it on wedges, you just wouldn't need it. Like, you wouldn't need as much of it as you would on your 4-iron.
yeah, that's true.
We have got curved wedges, we've gone the whole way through the bag, but honestly, at that point, it's just like there is clear data that it shows it's better, but like that, and you really have to dive into it to find out. So it was like, there's no point trying to tell people that they need that.
Yeah. I mean, I got to hit the curve faced irons last year
Mhm,
and I couldn't work out. It was kind of like hurting my brain that I was like, right, I'm going to hit this straight off the toe. Hit off the toe, went straight.
mhm,
Like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, normally that's going to go off a little bit right, or I'm going to really try and compensate and try and hook it straight left.
yeah,
But I just put a normal swing on it and it went dead straight. And I just kept on doing it. And I'm like, it's mental, but it works.
yeah, for
And
sure.
I saw Josh Oddie put a video up as well of him hitting it, and he just couldn't stop hitting it dead straight.
Yeah, and what's funny, right? The curvature itself doesn't mean the ball's gonna go straighter if you
No.
hit the middle. Like, the middle's pointing in the same place. You won't hit the middle every single time, but the middle's still pointing in the same place. It's when you don't hit the middle, it's not gonna go as far offline. It's actually gonna hold its line more.
Yeah,
But what players have been finding is they do actually hit them straighter. Like, they aren't curving the ball as much. They are going straighter. I think it's just they're more confident in making good swings, knowing they're gonna get away with it if they don't. And therefore, if you put better swings on, they go straighter. Like, I think it's when you know you can get away with something, you don't fear it, and then you execute a shot better. And
Absolutely.
we'll go into some of the wedge stuff in a little bit. It's the same on wedges though. When you
Yeah.
know you're not gonna hit a bad shot, you actually hit a better shot. So the thing that's there to help protect you when you hit a bad shot, you don't actually need then because you're hitting a better shot. So yeah, it's super interesting, but they are well, the players who are using them. Like you've probably seen David Buck put up a test. He did the 4-iron test one against the other, and he had like a 40 something percent reduction in side spin between the two. Like that's if you can hit it, a golfer who's swinging, low to mid 90s, who's played golf for a long time, played professionally, has gone out, hit them, and gone, yeah, I've literally over like hit a lot of shots. I'm seeing a 40% reduction in side spin. And the more shots he hit, the bigger the reduction in side spin he saw. The bigger data sample he
Yeah.
gathered, the better it got.
It's wild.
So, yeah,
Wild. You said
pretty
with
cool.
wedges, that shall we dive into the new set of wedges that come
Yeah.
out next week?
Yeah, supposed to be next week. So we'll have them at the show. W3. But
W3.
W1, started with W1. Then we went W2. Now we're going W3. But W1, low leading edge, low bounce. Started with that because I wanted to actually have a wedge that in the UK, when you play in tournament golf in the UK, which by the way is usually in the summer because it's, as you just mentioned, it's not great in the winter,
That's terrible right now.
you
Yeah.
can't get the club underneath the ball.
Yeah.
Most of the time, you can't get the club under the ball. So I was fed up of that. So I wanted to make a wedge that you could get the club under the ball. And then we got huge in the US, and that was all we had to offer because that's the first wedge we did. So we're like, okay, we needed it. We need the next wedge. So the W2 is pretty much your versatile go everywhere wedge, mid bounce, mid leading edge height. That's pretty much going to go on every golf course. If you're on a firm golf course, you're still going to be able to use it. It's fine. If you're on a super soft golf course, you're going to be able to use it. It's not tailored perfectly to both of them, but most of the time people are playing pretty neutral conditions anyway.
Yeah.
So that's just a super well-rounded, solid wedge. You guys have been using it.
Yeah.
We have our sole design on it as well. So it's not just about the leading edge height and the bounce. It's about how the sole's put together. Different parts of the sole do different things. That everyone's been so focused talking about the trailing edge. They have all these special trailing edge grinds. If the player sits the face like this when it's open, or they play like this when it's open, they need a different trailing edge grind. But what about when you're 50, 60 yards in the middle of the fairway after a great tee shot? You got a bunker in front of the green, a water in front of the green, you got a front pin, you're a bit into the green, and you have a scoring opportunity and you just made a double.
Yeah.
Like I care about when the club is square and you need to actually have an opportunity, not to scramble to save a par, but you have a chance to get a birdie, give yourself a scoring opportunity, and then you're sticking it in the ground.
Yeah.
So I wanted to develop the front part of the wedge. So we call it the midsole and the front sole, back the rear sole, trailing edge, whatever. Still there, still exists, but the mid and the front are the two most important parts to a wedge for when it makes contact with the ground and how it comes back out the ground. So we wanted to get a correct relationship between those two. So when a player is presenting the club to the ground and they do get it a little bit early, they have a bigger margin for error.
Yeah.
And then it doesn't get stuck in the ground forever if it does go in. So that's what we developed in the sole. So W2, mid bounce, mid leading edge height. W3, higher leading edge height, higher bounce. So this is where it gets really fun
Okay.
because the idea of bounce is pretty misunderstood.
Yeah.
You can measure a sole of a wedge in so many different places and find different angles all over it. Most wedges are measuring like the average of the whole sole. So if you actually measure the average of the front section of the wedge, not just the whole sole, the numbers of wedges are not what they say. They're not 4. So Jason had an L grind, 4 bounce L grind,
Wow.
4L, or even a 4T. If you look at a 4T, they're not 4. They're like 15 to 20
Yeah.
on the sole angle. So bounce isn't really what we have been saying it is. Bounce is more just a term of like, can I get the club under the ball or not?
Yeah.
So it's more leading edge heights. Like the T and the L have got a very low leading edge height. The M and the D and the K are going to be higher,
Yeah.
but they're then called higher bounce. So it's really just a rating of like forgiveness is what
Got ya.
bounce has become. So for us, W3 is for the player who leans the shaft a lot more.
Got it.
At impact, you need a certain amount of sole angle. Regardless if you're the player who doesn't lean it very much or whether you're the player that leans it loads, the ground doesn't care. All it needs to know is how's the wedge going to interact when it hits it.
Yeah.
Doesn't care how you got it there. It just wants to know what's happening when it's there. So whether you're the player that leans the shaft loads or doesn't lean it much, you still want to have the right angle on the sole when you make impact. So if you have, let's say you have a 10-degree angle on the sole, and you lean the shaft 15 degrees, what have you got now?
My word.
You got
That's
-5.
yeah,
So you haven't got anything left on it. So if you hit the ground first with that thing, it's going under, right? So you got to match
exactly.
that to the lean. So players who lean it 10 to 15 degrees, which is a lot of the time what we're taught. We're taught to bring the flight of wedges down. Like that's what we're taught to get the right launch angles to control our distance better. The only way you're going to get those launch angles with a 60-degree or a 55-degree wedge is by leaning it.
Yeah,
But yet the wedges don't have enough sole angle to allow you to lean them in the first place.
yeah,
Then players are battling back and forth between, well, if I lean it, I get the window, but I have no margin for error. And if I keep the margin for error, I'm making good contact, the ball's just puffing up in the air. So
yeah,
they're like battling between these two. And we literally see it all the way to the highest level in the game. It's not like it's just a beginner golfer thing.
yeah,
So matching the sole angle to how the player delivers it is super important. So W1 is for the player who doesn't lean the shaft very much and they don't put a lot of force into the ground. They pick
yeah,
it pretty clean. Or they play super, super, super firm conditions like the UK in the summer.
yeah,
W2 is for the player who leans it a little bit. Sometimes they lean it, sometimes they don't. They want a bit more versatility with the wedge. They play a variety of conditions, pretty medium. But if you were saying like perfect place for it, it's the player who leans it 5 to 10 degrees. They play in medium turf and they play, they want to manipulate the shot a little bit in that kind of condition. With 3 is for the player who wants to lean the shaft a lot. They like that. That's how they play golf. They play it back foot. Even if they play it forward, they lean, they put the weight forwards, they put the handle forwards, and they're fed up of sticking the club in the ground when they do it. It's for that player. If you lean it 10 to 15 degrees, if you play super grainy conditions, if you play super soft conditions, even if you play firm conditions and you lean it loads, that's the wedge. It's going to be
yeah.
fun.
I can already start to think of people that I know that this is definitely the wedge for them, 100%.
100%, dude. It's the sort of wedge they're going to hit it and they're not gonna miss it. They're gonna hit it and they go, "Yeah, that's pretty good to hit." They're
Yeah,
gonna then go back to the wedge they were using, stick it in the ground and go, "Uh, yeah, I'm gonna go back to that other wedge." Like, it's crazy.
I
It's
actually
awesome.
had that moment when because I found my old wedge in one of my cupboards, and it's I can't even remember what it is now, but I hit it and I thought, oh, this feels absolutely disgusting now. I couldn't like it went all right. Not no nothing compared to what like I'm hitting the Avodas like. And then
Mhm.
I was like, right, I don't even want to try hitting that again. Not even the slightest, not even for fun. It's not having it. Because it
Yep.
just feels so uncomfortable and just immediately knocked my confidence in my swing. So having those wedges that are particular for different swings, but that people do have those swings essentially. So
Yep.
having that can build your confidence, in turn, make you play better.
100%. Yeah, look, again, building margin for error when you don't hit a good shot actually lets you hit more good shots because you're not
Exactly.
worried if you get it wrong. You start making cleaner contact.
Yeah.
That's what we found, like, with the W3, right? We're almost calling it, like, the yip fixer. 'Cause a guy at my club played with him back end of the year, and he is one of the best players out there. If he hits 18 greens, he's shooting deep. If he misses 2 or 3, he's making bogeys and doubles on them. Like, he's got the yips around the greens,
Yeah.
and he's so afraid of the leading edge getting stuck in the ground. That's most of the time where it comes from. So he's trying to find ways to get the leading edge away from the ground. Then you overdo it, and you
Yeah.
thin it, and then you don't do it enough, and you chunk it, and now you don't know which one you're gonna do, and then you just can't pull the trigger.
Yeah. Exactly.
I said, right, hit this. And what I want you to do, I want you to chunk it on purpose. I want you to lean the shaft and I want you to take a divot. I want you to literally take a divot out the ground. And he leant the shaft and he tried to take a divot out the ground. And he's like, I didn't take a divot. Flush the chip shot.
Yeah.
I said, do it again. Do it 3 times. Like stand there and literally try and like chunk this shot. And the moment he realized that he had to go to some crazy extreme to even get close to chunking it, he was freed up and he just stood there and just started making those swings. And then he wasn't even thinking about the ground. He was just getting the ball again.
Yeah.
So this is a guy who's literally spent years hitting the yips, like literally yips around the greens. And he's hit the wedge. And I've told him, I want you on purpose to chunk it. And then as a result of that, he actually stopped hitting the ground first, started hitting the ball cleaner, and started hitting clean shots again.
Yeah.
Like you got to have the wedge or the club that frees you in the first place.
Yeah. Exactly. I'm just
Yeah.
thinking, it's like, where were you guys like 2 years ago for me? My goodness.
We'll
Yeah,
get in there.
I mean, I was terrible around the green like 2 years ago. It was just
Yeah,
I ended up putting it through the rough because I didn't want to touch a wedge. It was
for
horrific.
sure. Yeah, I mean, look, and we call it the yip fixer, but it doesn't mean it's for only for those players,
No, not
right?
at all.
So we kind of we'll slide into a little bit of the Jason side of things here. Probably known as one of the best short game players out there.
Yeah,
One of the best pitchers around the greens, great from bunkers, great short game. He's known for that. He's using the W3 wedge.
there you go. Can't argue with that.
And he's a player who leans it more. Now we know he's a player who sets up with not much shaft lean, but
Yeah,
through the ball, he's up at 16 degrees of lean. He leans it loads.
yeah.
That's why he's able to hit good windows and be good around the greens. The problem is when he got that slightly wrong, he was struggling and he was starting to have to back up and throw loft. He was playing a gap wedge and sand wedge that had about 5 to 10 less soul angle than he needed on them.
Oh, wow.
So when he's at 70, 80 yards, he can't stay in that shot. He'll get the ball first, he'll be fine. But if you lean it and you don't have enough soul angle, the leading edge gets too low, the ball rides up the face, it goes high anyway. So even if you lean it lows, you still hit high on the face and it pops up.
Yeah,
And then you try and get it low on the face and you're having to change your radius. And then you stick it in the ground because there's none on it. Then you have to stand up and try and throw loft. And these are the top players in the world who are facing these problems. It's not just the amateur golfer
yeah,
or the
exactly.
beginner golfer. They had a lot more golf balls to figure it out.
They got the time.
Yeah, sure. So we had him hit through, had him go through the W1, W2, W3. Which one did you like the most? And he's like, I just feel like I can just stay in this shot. I don't have to change anything. So
Love
he's been playing a prototype set of them for the last couple of months. But yeah, he's using the W3.
nice.
So it's a wedge for everyone. You know, if you're the beginner golfer who's got the yips, go hit it. You
Yeah,
won't have the yips anymore. And if you're the tour pro that's fed up of missing your windows, go hit it. You'll hit your windows better.
exactly.
Like it's an awesome wedge. So that's going to be fun.
Love that. Love that. And what's next for Avoda Golf? Are you going to think of
Yeah.
maybe hybrids or putters or driving irons? What's next for you guys?
Continue making great irons and wedges. Make our name in that side of the industry to start with.
Yep.
There's a lot of companies that, a lot of companies popping up in the golf space. We're one of them. It's never been easier to start a company in the world in general. Like the access to information, the access to resources and people has never been easier. So there's a lot popping up, but they try and do it all straight away.
Yeah.
So we know that we have a name to make for ourselves in general, but our biggest opportunity and where we're the best is in irons and wedges.
Love
So
that.
we've got a lot of fun stuff happening there. Um, that's where we want to keep our focus. Would it be nice to have a whole bag at some point? Yes. Will we do a good job in the wedges when we get there? I hope so. Sorry, in the woods when we get there. I hope so. Like
Yeah.
I've got some good ideas of what we would want to do, but we could get overloaded trying to do everything at once. So we're going to keep the focus where we know we're strong, which is on the irons and the wedges
Cool.
for
Cool.
now.
For now. Love that. For now. You never know.
Yeah, that's
Right.
the plan.
So let's go into Jason Day because it went wild when the pictures started coming out that he was playing Avoda irons and those irons looked so pure. But
Yeah.
firstly, how did it come about? You getting Avoda clubs in Jason's bag?
So his coach reached out to us in August. Colin. Colin's awesome. Big part of what we do is making sure the coach is involved in the process. Have to be.
Yeah,
We're not going to ever spend as much time around the player as the coach is. And as you know from speaking with us, the coach is the most important part in a player's development, and equipment is part of the coach's responsibility. And they've been separated from that. So we wanted to make sure that the coaches are actually brought back to the equipment
yeah,
table. They're actually in the conversation. They understand what that's going to do to the player's swing. So having his coach involved has been huge. Um, I think Jason was kind of fed up trying to figure it out on his own to a point. He'd gone down a lot of different tests. He was trying a lot of different equipment. I think he got himself to the point where he's like I can keep going on this, but I'm now not doing my practice and I'm not focusing on my training. I'm just so caught up with equipment. So he just wanted to find some people that could help figure it out for him.
love
And
that.
that's where we stepped in. We had a call with Colin back in August, and he just asked what we do, how we do things. I told him, and he's like, "Okay, let's do this. Let's give this a go." So we met up with him, did some testing, went through the wedge testing, went through the precision fit system. You
Wow.
know, it's not like that's just for the average golfer. It's for everyone.
Yeah,
We took one of the best players out there through it. Same process. What club's right for you? Doesn't matter how good you are or how new you are. You still need the club that's right for you. So we took him through that process. Found out some pretty quickly he had some specs issues, especially in lie angle. So we went through lie angle, shaft testing. The intention was not to put him in graphite. And he went through shaft testing. We tested through everything, did our profile test, did our weight test, did our steel and graphite testing. And he's like, yeah, this is just easier. Like it's going straighter. I'm hitting it better. No, I'm hitting the middle more than I have before.
Yep.
It was easier. Like, why wouldn't I do this? Doesn't make sense why I wouldn't do it. So he was in straight away. Was concerned on the wedge side of things. It might feel too light. Gave it a go. Was like, no, absolutely fine. So then he's in graphite. And he was playing a set of our Origin curved heads to start with while we were making him a club. So we were basically custom designing him as a club to match his delivery. So the sole angles on his set is all fine tuned to his delivery. So every single one of his impact for each of his clubs, we're making sure that the club he's using actually matches how he's trying to deliver it.
Yeah.
And that's the coach is huge. Because a lot of the time the player might not know that. They're focused on playing and the coach is going, this is where I'm aiming to get him. This is where we want to go. What can we do with the equipment that's going to help him get there? We go, well, you want to lean it 15 on a wedge. His wedge is only going to let him lean it 5. So we
Right.
had to fix that problem. So yeah, so then we did a custom set for him. That's the one that everyone saw him using. And that's kind of thing where things kicked off.
Love that. Love that. I mean, I must have looked at that photo of those clubs because I'm much more of a showy person. I absolutely love them. I was thinking, right, how am I going to get those? No, I wasn't thinking that at all. But
Yeah.
it's so cool to see players not just going, oh, with the same old brands. They're really thinking, right, how can I improve? Where's the best place I can improve my clubs? Right, who offers not something different, but something the best. I can't think of the word that can offer me, can improve my game the best, essentially.
Yeah.
And going to you guys at Avoda and really just getting down into the details and all the stats and everything, and not just going with the, oh well, this is fine, this is fine. It's what I've been using for the last 20 years. I'll just keep doing that. No,
Yeah.
it's innovating. That's the word I was trying to think of.
For sure. Yeah. I mean, look, innovation is a super difficult thing because it's already been done a lot.
Yeah,
Nothing, what I've learned going into this is that nothing's really new. It's just improved on,
yeah,
right? Nothing's really new. It's just improved on. I didn't create curvature on a club face.
no,
We just added it to ours, which by the way was done 25 years ago.
yeah, it was,
Before.
wasn't it?
It's
Yeah,
not, we're not the first to do it. We're the only ones offering it right now, but it was done before. So it's not something, and it's something that the industry's known existed and they know it makes a difference. Does it cater to everyone though?
exactly. Yeah.
Right. And that's where we're in a unique position
Mm,
that being a smaller company, being able to work faster, we can actually bring what these guys really want to be playing and need to be playing.
yeah,
That's
exactly.
the difference. So
And
we're in a unique position for that right now.
exactly, yeah. And I know that some of the other lads, I mean, we spoke to Ryan last week, and I know for a fact that he's had a hit of them. Any of the other part of the lads group, have any of them come on board as well?
Yeah. So we've got Bat using the set.
Yeah,
So he's put a set in play. He's playing some good golf at the moment. Took him through a fit at Jason's a few weeks back. We're going to go through a full fit so everyone can see that at some point here.
awesome.
And then, so Luke, his caddy, we're down in Florida at the beginning of December, just before Jason went to play the Grant Thornton Invitational down there, doing a club testing on the V2s. So that was the second gen iron we did for him.
Yeah,
And they went out to play a game, and Luke's on the range warming up, hitting his current clubs. Big old divots. Hitting them nice. He flushes it. It's a really good golfer.
yeah.
And then he has a hit at Jason's, and he's like, I that's how that was easy. It just went through the turf so quick. I didn't have to do anything. Like, and then he started hitting him. He was like, I don't even want to go out and play with these ones now. And we always have a backup set for Jason. So we had the other set in the car. So he took that out to play. We haven't got that back from him.
Oh, goodness me. You're
So
probably
he's
looking
still
at that.
using that other set. So yeah, it's great. So they're using them. Look, it's one of those things like we're gonna work with them. They're awesome. They're great fun. Like I think it's an awesome channel. They're real. They're not holding back. They're
Mm,
being genuine to who they are. And they hit the product and they were like, I just want to use this product.
yeah,
I want to use that. Like, we'll work something with them, but they're like, I want to be using this. So
Yeah,
that's great. Like, that's our first thing. I don't want to work with anyone who actually doesn't want to be using the clubs. Like, before we do a deal with anyone, any ambassador, any player, hit the stuff, get results. If
yeah,
you're getting results and that can benefit us and it benefits you, we'll talk. But if you're not
absolutely.
getting results and you don't like the product, I'm not throwing money at you before we've before we've figured this out. Like, let's get
Yeah,
you playing better golf. And a lot of the time now, at the level these players are at, it's just about that. It's not about them getting paid to use golf clubs anymore.
no,
They can go out and make 20 to 30 million in a year on the golf course, forgetting their other sponsors on the side and things they do. They just need golf clubs that let them do that better.
yeah. I
So
mean,
it's not about the money anymore.
no, it's not. You see more and more players on tour with such mixed bags. There's obviously you got your Rorys and whatnot who are just one brand through the bag, but even then, like it's it's all about how good you can play and what's going to offer that the best. So you go
Hmm.
to what company offers the best for your game, and it's so important to be able to do that. And obviously, it's clearly not about the money anymore because, as you said, they could start a YouTube channel and earn as much as they want half the time.
Yeah. And
So
they are.
exactly,
And
exactly.
they don't want to play bad on YouTube. That's the
No,
thing you're gonna see now. Like they're used to playing on camera. They're used to playing on TV. But guess what they show on TV? The good golf.
yes,
Like you're not playing good that week, you're not gonna get shown.
no,
Now, if you're a huge name, they're gonna show you playing some bad golf, but most of the time they're gonna focus on who's at the top of the leaderboard. When
exactly,
they're on YouTube and they're playing a match, they are gonna be shown playing that golf. So
exactly.
I've heard them literally talk about the fact it's like almost feels like more pressure playing on the YouTube videos than they actually feel playing out on tour because they're on camera for everything. That's
Yeah,
the content of the day, and it's going up.
yeah, exactly. That's actually a question I wanted to ask you was, what's it like working with not well, they're working with tour pros, but also working with those who are playing for content related. What's it like working with the 2?
I've only worked with the 2 that are playing for content stuff as well.
Fair enough, fair
Obviously,
enough.
Bryson has YouTube and Jason has his YouTube. So, um, I mean, it's the same goal for us, help the player get better.
Yeah,
Like, and that's what's fun with our precision fitting system. Like, doesn't matter which location you go to, you're gonna get the same process. I don't care if you've played on tour for 10 years or if you have literally just picked up a golf club. We're gonna go through the same process because I wanna know either way which club's gonna help you get better.
love that, yeah.
So it wasn't really any different. I would say the difference between Jason and Bryson was that Bryson was way further down the rabbit hole knowing what he wanted.
Yeah,
So it was a lot more of a, "Hey, this is what I'm looking for. This is what I want, and can you make this?"
yeah.
He was a lot more involved in the like, he already had a very clear vision of what he was looking for.
Mm,
I see golf clubs pretty similar to him, so I could understand what he was looking for and appreciate it, which is why I think we were able to get it done so much quicker.
yeah,
With Jason, it was a like, I've got a rough idea of what I want, but like, you guys tell me what's going to help me play better.
yeah,
And that's where having the process of the precision certified or the precision fitting system and having guys certified in that, it just makes it so much easier because it's the same process. We
yeah,
don't have to go, oh, what are we doing with this player?
yeah,
Run the
exactly.
process, find out what they need.
And then bringing the coach involved with all that, as you said
Hmm.
before, it's so important because then it's like, no, hang on, you've changed something there. Like they can give
Yeah.
their 2 cents into what needs to be done whilst you're doing your job with the fitting and everything.
100%. Like a coach sees so quickly, why am I not doing this?
Yeah.
Like, and that was what it was for me. That's what I was a coach when I figured this stuff out. I'm
Mm,
like, why is this player in front of me not getting better when I know we're doing the right drills? I know we're moving for their anatomy. I know they're practicing. We can see them understanding movement better, making way better practice swings. A lot of time people can't even make better practice swings. Like at least they're now moving how we want them to. The moment there's a golf ball there, they're not doing it. And immediately everyone goes, well, yeah, there's more pressure when there's a golf ball. Like you go back to habit when there's a golf ball. I'm like, why? Because this guy didn't, but this guy did. So
yeah.
why did this one get so much better, so much quicker, and this one didn't? And when you really start diving into the fact that one had clubs that were built for them, so when you gave them the right drills to work on, they could actually do it. They were working on the wrong stuff before, but now they're working on the right stuff, and they have clubs that match that. Then there's this guy over here who's always worked on the right stuff, never worked on the wrong stuff, never got any better. Oh,
Mm.
look at that. The golf clubs were never going to let him do that.
Yeah.
So as soon as like working with these coaches, when they see it straight away, they go, yeah, I need to be doing that. Like, can I have one of those systems? We go, yeah. And here's the good news. You don't have to spend $40,000 on a studio with shafts all around the walls to do it.
Yeah.
It literally goes in a 40-inch rifle case. You can put it in your car. You can jump on a plane with it. You can take it to the driving range. It's a coaching tool as much as, if not more than, it's a fitting tool.
Yeah.
Like I got a player who's 10 over the top and they're playing lie angles that are 4, 5, 2 flat for them. Or if you've got a player who's standing up, squared on, throwing, stalling, way under, and they're playing lie angles that are 3 or 4 too far upright for them, yeah, no surprise that they're swinging 6 to 8 from the inside.
Yeah.
They had to be good at golf. They
Exactly.
literally had to. So when the coach sees, man, this isn't actually a fitting, this is actually a training aid, and I better make sure my player's using the right training aid, they're like, show me more of this. Like, I want to be doing this.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
that's our goal. Like, the goal is to get to the point where it's not us doing the process. The
Yeah.
coaches come along, they've already done the process. They go, hey, I've done the process. This is what my player needs. Can you put this together? Sure, we'll
Yeah.
do that.
I love
Like,
that.
that's the goal.
Love that. Well, thank you so much for coming back on, Tom. No doubt we're going to speak again at the end of the year and recap this year because you've already got some big plans, and I
Yeah.
know, and we can't wait to watch the journey of Avoda and be involved as we are. We're so grateful for that as well. So thank
Yeah.
you so much, Tom.
I appreciate you guys having me back on. It's pretty cool seeing you wearing the hats in every single one as well. So that's been good. We'll get you all the new product as soon as it comes.
Oh,
W3 wedges.
I can't wait for that.
We'll have to get you hitting them soon.
Love it. Thanks, buddy.
Awesome. Good stuff, man.